Welcome back, everybody, to the Pittsburgh Pirates franchise here on MLB The Show 20. Today, we continue season number 3, currently here in the middle of the month of June, sitting at a record of 40-32. Last episode, we saw the MLB draft. We also looked at a series against the Milwaukee Brewers, which resulted in a sweep, and to be specific, us getting swept, which is not good because we're obviously in a very tight race for first place in the division between us, Milwaukee, and the surprise of the season, the Chicago Cubs, who got way worse on paper, but found a way to get better. So here's a look at the Major League Draft result from last episode. I think the big picks for us were Robbie Cortez and Rob Hills. Cortez was our first rounder. Not great, but not awful. 63 overall, 81 potential. He is a left-handed starting pitcher. But Rob Hills was the steal of the draft in round 4 or something. We find an A potential gem of a closer. It's very hard to find A potentials in this game who are not blue chip prospects, so I'm very shocked he ended up being as good as he was. I didn't even think he was all that great when we drafted him, but wow, what a steal. Looking at the Major League squad, got a lot of guys playing well, including Brian Reynolds. His potential is going up. I believe it's an 89 now, so almost an A. Hitting .327, that's pretty much normal for Brian Reynolds. Eduardo Escobar having a solid year. Josh Bell, not quite putting up the MVP numbers that he did last year, but I'm still happy with his play. He's doing well. Dylan Carlson, he has really broken out. Last year, he won NL Rookie of the Year. That doesn't mean he was good. He wasn't bad last year, but he wasn't anything more than an average starter who had a lot of potential. But he is breaking out into that potential this year, and he's been a sight to see. He looks like a fringe all-star at the moment, hitting for good power, hitting for good average. So really what you want to see in your young outfielder. Benny Lane obviously having a very solid rookie year, so everybody's doing well up to this point. But then we get to Bubba Shed. He has been one of the biggest disappointments on this team for me. He's not even playing that bad. 258 isn't awful, but only 5 home runs, 7.19 or .719 OPS. So not numbers you really want to see. These aren't terrible stats, but these are below average. He currently has 10 errors. He's not playing well defensively, which comes after a year after he won a Gold Glove and did not commit an error until game 163, the final game to see if we will make the playoffs or not. So technically in the 162-game season last year, he didn't get an error. To be fair, he is playing second base this year. Last year he played third, but still, 10 errors, we're not even halfway through the year. Not what you want to see. So really all the numbers are down for Bubba Shed. He has not improved this season. So I definitely want to see more from him, but he has not impressed me. You know who has impressed me? Francisco Mejia, the silent killer. He is not a flashy name on this team, but he's a damn good ball player. He had a very solid season last year, and he's improved this year. The average is right around the same. He's hitting for more power. The OPS is higher. So I'm just very impressed with Francisco Mejia. These are not everyday numbers for a catcher who also happens to have a cannon for an arm. So Francisco Mejia's progression in this series has been really, really good. Then O'Neal Cruz, another second-year player coming off a decent rookie season, and he has really broken out, hitting above 300, hitting for good power. So I love to see that. Then looking at the bench, Mark Canha has been solid. Brian Hayes has kind of been bad the past month or so, only hitting .218 now. Willian Astudillo's been decent. Mitch Haniger's been decent. Michael Franco's done like nothing. And then Yandy Diaz is the main guy off the bench, someone who can play a bunch of different positions, currently hitting .335 on the season, which is very good to see. So the lineup, as you can tell, outside of Bubba Shed, I'm very happy with. The pitching rotation, I am also very happy with. Jamison Tyone putting up Cy Young-like numbers once again, 2.59 ERA, whip right about 1. So these are ideal numbers for your ace. Love seeing that. Julio Urias has been kind of bad the past month or so. He's still putting up solid numbers, 3.5 ERA, 1.35 whip. But he has not been great the past month or so. He started off the season hot, has kind of cooled down. Joe Musgrove, another very consistent season from him. He's just been very good in this series. A consistent guy who has an ERA right around 3, a low whip. Definitely what you love to see. And then in the back end of the rotation, Jordan Yamamoto, Mitch Keller doing their things. Very happy with Mitch Keller's progression. I was worried he was just going to continue to put up bad numbers in the series, but he's been great this year. Waddle's doing well, so the rotation's been awesome. But we get to the bullpen, and as you can tell, things are getting bad. Michael Givens has been average to below average. Jace Fry has been awful the past month. Manuel Clase is actually doing better the past month or so. Got to give him credit. His numbers are still not good, however. Aristides Vizcaino's been a train wreck. He was one of the top relievers in baseball last year. This year, he has been abysmal. His whip isn't even awful, but when you're allowing so many runs, it just doesn't even matter. Ryan Presley's been awesome, and even Ken Giles hasn't been all that consistent the past month or so. So really, Ryan Presley's the only consistent reliever in this bullpen. And if we do go out and make a move in the trade deadline, it'll probably be for a big-name reliever, which is definitely this team's biggest necessity. So here we go. Pirates returning home, 3-game set. Going to be taking on the Miami Marlins, currently 25-46. The Marlins are finally playing up to their roster talent. What I mean by that is the Marlins have been quite solid the first 2 seasons of this series, even though their team sucked. Their team still sucks, and now they're playing like it. So at least MLB The Show Sim is getting a little bit more realistic. Joe Musgrove on the hill in this one, ERA right around 3, whip at 1.16, having a really solid season, about a strikeout an inning, so pretty much what you want from a guy in the middle of your rotation. First batter of the game, Brian Anderson, will go deep in the left, and the Miami Marlins are quickly on the board. This game started off interesting. Brian Anderson with his 7th home run of the season, and Miami will take a quick 1-0 lead. Pablo Lopez on the hill for the Marlins. He's 1-7, but he's not even having a bad year. 3.42 ERA, 1.21 whip. He's actually playing quite solid. Here's Josh Bell, 2-1 count, and he lines it right off of Lopez's shin. That'll be a base hit for Bell, but I think the bigger question is Pablo Lopez's health, and he would be a little bit shaken up, which makes sense. Luckily, he would be fine to continue pitching. So the Pirates now got 2 on, 2 out for Benny Ling, the talented Japanese rookie, and he's going to get a single into right. Bell headed home. The throw to the plate is in time. They got him. Part-time ball player, full-time sniper. Excellent throw by the right fielder Harold Ramirez as we now advance to the top of the second. Speaking of Ramirez, he's going to lead the inning off. He's just a window shopper. Say it with me, kids, because he's just looking. 1-2 count now for Sam Hilliard. He strikes out. Joe Musgrove starting to look a lot better than he did after that first at-bat. Bottom 2 now, Francisco Mejia up at the plate. That's going to be a 4-6-3 double play as the Marlins infield has more chemistry than a science project, and we advance to the third. Brian Anderson coming off his home run, this time going to strike out on the low 81-mile-an-hour curveball. Couple batters, actually on to the fourth now. Jock Peterson more blind than hell and killer. I don't know what he was swinging at. Musgrove's 6th strikeout of the day. Later in the fourth now, Jorge Alfaro, the catcher, gets that one deep into right, and it will drop in front of a wall. Bell cannot make a play in time, and that'll be a 2-out double for the former Philadelphia Philly catcher. So now runners on the corners, 2 outs for Lewin Diaz, who will strike out. Musgrove gets out of the jam, and we now advance to the bottom of the fourth. 1 down for Dylan Carlson, 2-2 pitch, and he is going fishing. Didn't catch anything with that bait as he swings and misses at the outside changeup. Top of the fifth now. Sam Hilliard up at the plate. He's going to go down on the high up and away changeup. So that'll bring up Pablo Lopez. He gets that one. Should have been a base hit, but Eduardo Escobar makes one hell of a catch. 33 is the new 23. Eduardo Escobar proving that age is just a number. With that athleticism, take another look at the excellent defensive play by Eddie Escobar. So later in the inning, runner on for Michael Bush. He gets that one down the left field line. That's fair. Brian Anderson will come home to score, sliding safely, and the Miami Marlins will take a 2-0 lead. Would have been a 3-0 lead had Eduardo Escobar not made that sick defensive play. 6th inning now, Jorge Alfaro strikes out. Joe Musgrove's day would be done. He pitched 6 good innings, but the bats just could not get anything going, at least so far. The pinch hitter, Yandy Diaz, going to lead the inning off, shop and gap. That'll be a double for Yandy Diaz. And just like that, the Pirates got a runner in scoring position with no outs. This is their opportunity to drive home a run. 1 down for Eduardo Escobar, and that ball is higher than J.R. Smith during Game 1 of the 2018 Finals. Would be caught out in center. Yandy Diaz will be safe at home. The throw is offline, and the Pittsburgh Pirates are now on the board. As Josh Bell now up at the plate, full count, 2 outs. He has a chance to tie it. Instead, he's going to go down looking on the four-seam fastball, and we advance to the 7th. Michael Givens, the former Baltimore Oriole, is in the game, currently with an ERA at 4.5, pretty much average. Not a great whip. Obviously, it's a different role for him. He's used to being a closer as he strikes out Sam Hilliard. Rough day for Sam in this one. Bottom 7 now for the rookie, Benny Lane. And Daniel Lane will go deep and to right. Big Daniel Lane will tie the game up at 2, his 15th home run of the season. Everybody loves some Benny Lane. And the Pirates will tie it up. Big home run for Benny. And Miami will take Pablo Lopez out of the game. The flame-throwing Ryan Stanek is now in. He's had a really good year, 2.35 ERA. Can he get out of the frame? Maybe not, as Francisco Mejia shopping cap, and it'll drop into right center field for extra bases. Mejia gets the double. So that'll put a runner in scoring position for O'Neal Cruz, who gets intentionally walked. The Marlins would rather have someone on the Pirates' bench hit than Cruz. The Pirates are going to put Mark Canha into the game, and he grounds out. Maybe the Marlins didn't want to see Michael Givens for another inning. Maybe they thought the Pirates would keep Givens in, and now that a pinch hitter will come up, Givens will be taken out of the game. Interesting idea. Who knows? Ryan Presley enters the 8th. I don't know why you'd rather face off against Presley than Givens as he strikes out that batter. However, the following batter goes deep into right center for extra bases. That'll be a double. Marlins got themselves a runner in scoring position. This is their time to shine. Here's Carlos Correa, the big free agent signing from the Houston Astros, going to strike out, and then Jock Peterson goes down to the four-seam fastball. Presley gets out of the inning, and now we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Quiet day for Josh Bell outside of that initial base hit, 3-1 count. That's going to be a weak fly out to the catcher. Alfaro makes the catch. Stanek escapes the inning with ease, and this game is tied up at 2 as we advance to the 9th. Jorge Alfaro going down on the sweeping curve. Harold Ramirez now goes down on the fastball. Lewin Diaz also going to go down on the fastball. 1-2-3 inning. Hat trick when it comes to strikeouts for Presley. As we go to the bottom of the 9th, Dylan Carlson, can he walk it off? Not quite. It almost had the distance. Ramirez makes the catch. 2 gone now for Bubba Shed. He strikes out at the slider. And we are going to extra innings here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. The pinch hitter, Jazz Chisholm, up in the 10th. He draws a walk, and the former Diamondback prospect is aboard. Here's Brian Anderson, grounded to third. Escobar to Bichette to Lane. 5-4-3. Double play. Now the Pirates have another walk-off opportunity. Eliezer Hernandez in here for the bottom of the 10th. He's had a really good year, 1.76 ERA. Only 15 innings of work, but he's doing quite well. Here's the pinch hitter, Brian Hayes up at the plate. Hits that one nicely into center. Does it have the distance? Not quite, as it would be caught. And we will now advance to the 11th inning. Pitching change now for the Pirates. The flame-throwing Emmanuel Clase in. Credit to Ryan Presley. He went 3 innings, didn't allow any runs. Clase, let's see if he can keep the groove going as he strikes out Michael Bush there, showing off the 99-mile-an-hour cutter. Jock Peterson now up, grounds that one to Benny Lane, and the Pirates will escape the top of the 11th. Another walk-off opportunity here in the bottom of the frame. Josh Bell up 2-2 pitch, lines that one deep and to right. Does it have the distance? Not quite. Harold Ramirez makes the catch at the wall, and we will now advance to the 12th inning. Jorge Alfaro strikes out Emmanuel Clase, getting into a groove. Lewin Diaz now up at the plate, grounds that one to Benny Lane, and the top of the 12th is now adjourned. We go to the bottom of the inning. The Pirates have another chance to potentially get a walk-off, and let's see if this is another chance they blow. 2-2 count for Bichette with 2 outs, grounds it to third. The Marlins make the play, and we will now advance to the 13th inning, as if this game could get any longer. Pirates make a pitching change. The struggling Aroides Vizcaino has entered the game. He certainly wants to improve upon his play, and he would not start off too hot. Marlins opened the inning off with a base hit. Not a lot of base runners here at all the extra innings, so this is the start that the Miami Marlins need. That's Sam Hilliard with the base knock. The following batter, that one goes over the head of Carlson. Hilliard rounding third headed home. He's going to be safe, and the Miami Marlins will take a 3-2 lead just like that with the RBI double from pinch hitter Jesus Sanchez. So now it is 3-2. Next batter, Brian Anderson rips a single into left. Sanchez safe at third. And at this point, the Pirates are just going to take it right as Vizcaino out because 3 batters, 3 hits. Bad inning from Vizcaino. Jace Fry will now enter. He's not doing much better this season than Vizcaino, but we'll try to get out of the inning alive. Here's Michael Busch. That one will drop in the left for a base hit. Jesus Sanchez will score. Probably could have been a double by a bad defensive play from Dylan Carlson. However, the runners retreat at second and first, but the Marlins will take a 4-2 lead. Fry going to try to get out of the inning as he does strike out Jock Peterson right there. And we go to the bottom of the inning. Wouldn't you know, Kyle Crick in for the save. The former Pirate, he was traded back in Season 1. Currently, Crick has a 1.53 ERA. That's not the Kyle Crick we all remember as O'Neal Cruz full count pitch. That would have been a walk, but instead he's going to ground out. So now the final batter of the final hope of the game for the Pittsburgh Pirates is Maikel Franco. 2-2 pitch, and he hits that one high, but not too deep. The shortstop under it. And the Miami Marlins will win the game by a final score of 4-2 in 13 innings. This was a long one. That's what she said. And let's just be clear, that's not what she told me. Pirates bats did not play all that well today. 0 base runners in the extra innings. In those 4 innings, the Pirates did not get a single player on base. Once Pablo Lopez was taken out, the Marlins bullpen went ham. And Lopez pitched very well too, so just an all-around bad day for the bats. The Pirates' pitching was quite solid. Joe Musgrove had a good start. Emmanuel Clase, Ryan Presley both pitched really well. But once the right as Vizcaino came in, things got ugly. Real ugly. And that's how we end up losing this game. So at this point, enough is enough with Vizcaino. He's just been too bad this season to have him on the Major League roster right now. Coming off a year where he had a whip less than 1 and an ERA less than 2. He was dominant as ever last year, but this year, it's not that he's regressed. He has been abysmal. He has no minor league options used, so because of that, he will be sent down to AAA. He has to recoup. He needs to play better. We cannot have him up in the majors right now because he is a liability. The AAA bullpen is very solid with a number of Major League caliber players, and we will call up Richard Rodriguez. Rodriguez has been a Major League veteran with the organization for a while and will now get another chance here up at the show. So after some simulating, we would actually play quite well in our next few games, going 6-2 in our previous 8, including a 16-0 win in St. Louis against the Cardinals. And the crazy thing is, Mitch Keller almost pitched a frickin' no-hitter. Keller went 7 2/3 innings without allowing a single hit. So Keller himself pitched a no-hitter. However, Michael Givens came in late, and he ended up allowing a base hit, which kind of sucks, but a dominant performance from Mitch Keller. The bats played really well, too, which is awesome to see. And Mitch Keller's ERA is now less than 3, which is crazy. So now a 3-game set at Camden Yards in Baltimore against the 20-61 Orioles. This team sucks. They are historically bad. They don't even have a player in the 80s or 90s. Their top player is a 79. That's embarrassing. We're officially halfway through the season, 81 games in and 81 more to go. The Pirates are currently 46-35, which means they are on pace to finish 92-70. Not too shabby. Here's a look at both lineups 1-9. Obviously, since we're in American League Park, there is a DH in this one. Mark Canha will be getting the start. He's obviously not an everyday player. Grayson Rodriguez getting down for the Orioles, one of their top prospects, and his 4th start of the year. He's not been very good this season. 8.68 ERA currently. Has to rebound, and against this tough Pirate lineup, it might be challenging. First batter of the game, B-Ray and Reynolds will fly out to second. So, hey, good start for Grayson Rodriguez, I suppose. Josh Bell now up at the plate, 1-2 pitch, and that one will be a strikeout. So 1-2-3 inning of work from Grayson Rodriguez. I think he has to be pretty happy with his inning. Julio Urias on the mound for the Pirates, still continuing to pitch worse. The ERA now at 3.93 with a 1.42. I don't know what's happened this past month. He's just not been on his game. Here's Mel Tapia. He is not your traditional number 3 hitter, but since the Orioles literally got no one else, he is the guy there. Julio Urias makes the catch on the fly ball, and we advance to the second. No base runners up to this point, but that'll change. Dylan Carlson going to lead the inning off hot. He gets that one over the head of the second baseman, Chad De La Guerra, and that'll be a triple for Dylan Carlson as he slides safely to third. And the Pirates got themselves a runner 90 feet away from home just like that. Carlson with his second triple of the campaign. Can Pittsburgh drive them in? The answer is yes. Bubba Shed will get a single into center past the glove of Greg Jones. And just like that, the Pittsburgh Pirates are on the board. They'll take a 1-0 lead. The following batter, Francisco Mejia, sends out one deep into right center. Does it have the distance? It does. Francisco Mejia with his 17th home run of the season, and the Pirates will take a 3-0 lead. Here comes the following batter, Marcana, crushes it into center. Does it have the distance? It's going to be close, and it goes out. Back-to-back home runs for the Pirates, and just like that, they're up 4-0. It's been a disaster of an inning for Grayson Rodriguez, and it will continue to get worse. The very next batter, O'Neal Cruz, deep into right center, and it's gone. Santa Maria, back-to-back-to-back home runs for the Pirates. The 7, 8, 9 hitters, Mejia, Cana, and Cruz, will make it 5-0. Brian Reynolds ends the home run streak, but he does get a single into center, so you can't really complain there. Just like that, the Pirates got themselves a runner on here for Eduardo Escobar. He shot the gap into right center field. Brian Reynolds chugging his booty along. He's going to head home. That'll be an RBI double for Eduardo Escobar, and the Pirates have gone on a full-on rampage as it is now 6-0. The Orioles have seen enough. Grayson Rodriguez's day is done. The long reliever, Brandon Bailey, will enter. The only difference between him and Rodriguez is that he's had a longer sample size of being terrible. Dylan Carlson strikes out. Carlson started the inning. He's the one who ends it. 6 runs in that one for the Pirates. They just put up a 6 spot here in Baltimore. Julio Urias now trying to not get overshadowed. He strikes out Chad De La Guerra, and we move to the third. Here's Big Ding Lang. Benny Lang doesn't quite have the distance to go over the fence, but it will drop for an extra base hit, as Lang will slide into second safely for a double. And just like that, the Pirates got themselves a runner in scoring position. Francisco Mejia now up at the plate. Weak hit to first. However, Benny Lang will score, and the Pirates will now take a 7-0 lead. The following batter, Mark Canha up. He went yard in his last plate appearance, and he doesn't quite get that one over the fence, but he will line it fair for an extra base hit as Mark Canha will get a sliding double. Pirates got themselves another runner in scoring position with 2 outs. That'll bring up O'Neal Cruz now. Gets that one to fall into left, and it will go for a double. And just like that, the Pirates will now make it 8-0 as Cruz stands up for that double. And the Pirates are now up 8-0 as we go to the bottom of the third. Brett Cumberland, the catcher, strikes out. For what it's worth, Adley Rutschman is not on this team. They traded him to the Angels for this man, Joe Adell, who's just a window shopper. Say it with me, kids, because he's just looking. On to the fourth now. Josh Bell up at the plate, and that one will not get past the diving glove of Chad De La Guerra. However, Bell is safe, and now at this point, everybody in the starting lineup has a base hit to their name in this one. And now Dylan Carlson's up, and he has a home run next to his name for this one as Carlson gets it deep into right center field, and the Pirates are now in the double figures. Pittsburgh will make it 10-0. Baltimore going to make a pitching change. Asher Wojciechowski is in, and for those who have been with the channel for a hot minute, you may know him as Asher Wojciechowski, mate. That was like the 100 sub days. Holy cow, that feels like forever ago. And Asher Wojciechowski, mate, would get out of the inning as Francisco Mejia does fly out, and we go to the bottom of the fourth. Greg Jones up at the plate. Excellent defensive play from O'Neal Cruz. Greg Jones just happened to not be blazing fast. That would have been an out. Doesn't really matter, though, as Mel Tapia strikes out, and then Hanser Alberto with 2 outs going to fly out to center. Brian Reynolds almost misses it, and the score will remain 10-0 as we advance to the fifth. Mark Canha going to lead the inning off with a base knock, so he is now 3 for 3 in this one, and a triple shy of the cycle. That'd be quite impressive for a guy who does not play every day. Brian Reynolds now gets that one to fall into center for a single. Canha heading home. He is safe, and Pittsburgh will now make it 11-0. This is an absolute beating. These Baltimore Oriole players have families, damn it. On the bottom of the fifth, Chad De La Guerra strikes out. Here's Brandon Marsh now up at the plate. Weakly hit into left center. O'Neal Cruz cannot make the catch, and that'll drop for a hit. So Marsh is now aboard. That would bring up Brett Cumberland. as that one goes deep into right center, and the Orioles are finally on the board. Cumberland with his third home run of the season, and the shutout for Julio Urias is no more. Bottom of the sixth now, the Orioles are going to try to extend their lead as that single will make it 11-3 as they just try to make this game just a little bit closer. Brandon Marsh now up at the plate. That one is hit weakly to short. Oneil Cruz cannot make the throw in time. And now the Orioles have the bases loaded. 2 outs for Ryan Mountcastle. Gets that one to the right center. Everybody is headed home. A 3-run double for Mountcastle, and only a double. He was trying to be aggressive, going 3, but the Pirates get him out. Nonetheless, 3-run score on that play, and the Orioles will cut the lead down to 5, making it 11-6. Top of the 7th, Wachachowski still in as he strikes out Oneil Cruz on the curveball. And now we go to the bottom of the inning. Emmanuel Clase going to enter the game. Julio Urias pitched very well for 4 innings, but really fell apart late in this one as he's trying to show off some of his fast pitches as he gets Cumberland and Greg Jones to strike out. We go to the top of the 8th now, 11-6. Pirates going to try to get some insurance runs as Eduardo Escobar rips a single. Reynolds advances to third. Baltimore going to make a pitching change. Michael Rucker now into the game, and compared to some of these other Oriole pitchers, he's not even doing that bad. Here's Josh Bell, going to ground that one to short. Jones to second. The throw to first is not in time. Regardless, Brian Reynolds does score, and this game is now 12-6. But why not extend the lead a little bit more? Dylan Carlson with his second home run of the night. A 2-run blast in a deep right, and the Pirates will now make it 14-6. His 19th bomb of the campaign. And we go to the bottom of the 8th. 100-mile-an-hour cutter will strike at Mel Tapia. There's DJ Stewart going down, and we advance to the 9th. Francisco Mejia with his second home run of the game. Pittsburgh will now make it 15-6. Just playing ruthless right now on these Baltimore Orioles. Miguel Castro will now enter, just going to try to get out of this inning alive, and he would do that. Bottom 9 now, grounder to Benny Lane. He will tag first to end it, and the Pittsburgh Pirates get the win by a final score of 15-6. The bats just absolutely exploded here in this one. Everybody hit the ball well for the most part. I believe the Pirates as a team had 6 home runs. Oneil Cruz went deep. Marcano went deep. Dylan Carlson twice. Francisco Mejia twice. They all drove in runs along with Bubba Shed, Josh Bell, Eduardo Escobar, and Brian Reynolds. So every single starter drove in a run except for Benny Lane. But I want to talk about the pitching real quick. Julio Urias at the end of April had an ERA right around 2. Clase at the end of April had an ERA around 10. Now look, Emmanuel Clase's ERA is sub 4. Urias's is over 4. So it's really good to see Clase continue to rebound after that poor start. But Urias, on the other hand, I don't know what has happened to him these past couple of months. He's just taken a turn for the worst. The Baltimore Orioles didn't even hit the ball that badly. 6 runs, 8 hits. Not a whole lot to complain about at the plate if you're an Orioles fan. They hit the ball well for the most part, but just the pitching was absolutely garbage. Every Baltimore Orioles pitcher drove in a run except for Miguel Castro, who pitched most of the 9th inning. Grayson Rodriguez gets the loss. He looked really bad. Every other pitcher on this team, for the most part, looked bad. Dominant win for the Pirates, and they would continue to dominate in this Baltimore series. The next game, we would win 10-8, and then the following game, we would win 19-1. So, in that 3-game series against the Baltimore Orioles, we scored a combined total of 44 runs. 44! That, according to my math, is nearly 15 runs a game. Holy cow. That'll end the episode. Next one, we open things up with a 4-game set at home against the Chicago Cubs, which is obviously a big deal because of the division race. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to hit the like button and subscribe if you're new. Don't forget to click the bell and share with your friends. Have a good one.